Imagine this. A woman in the 1700s dressed in men's clothes, sword in hand, commanding a ship of cutthroat pirates. Her name was Anne Bonny, and she wasn't just a rebel, she was a legend who defied an empire. But here's the kicker. History tried to erase her. Why? Because her story was too wild, too dangerous, and too unbelievable to fit the mold. Today, we're uncovering the hidden legacy of the pirate queen of the Atlantic, and trust me, it's not what you expect. This isn't just a tale of adventure, it's a mystery wrapped in rebellion, a story that challenges everything we think we know about pirates and power. Anne Bonny wasn't born a pirate, she was born into scandal. Around 1698 in County Cork, Ireland, she came into the world as the illegitimate child of William Cormac, a wealthy lawyer, and his maid, Mary Brennan. Her very existence was a slap in the face to polite society. When the affair blew up, William's wife raged, and the gossip spread like wildfire. He had no choice but to flee, with little Anne and her mother in tow, to the American colonies. They landed in Charleston, South Carolina, a bustling port town where the salty air carried whispers of opportunity. Anne grew up watching ships sail in and out, her fiery spirit already stirring. By her teens, she was a force of nature. There's a tale, maybe exaggerated, maybe not, that she once stabbed a servant girl with a table knife, not out of cruelty, but sheer defiance. Her father tried to cage her wildness, arranging a marriage to a dull, respectable man named James Bonny. But Anne? She didn't just refuse. She torched her father's plantation, fields of sugarcane swallowed by flames, as her way of saying goodbye. That fire wasn't just an act of rebellion, it was a declaration. Anne Bonny was done with rules, done with chains. She craved something bigger, freedom, no matter the cost. Freedom found her in the form of Jack Rackham, Calico Jack, a pirate captain draped in bright fabrics and bravado. Their paths crossed in 1718 in New Providence, a lawless pirate haven in the Bahamas. Anne was 20, stuck in a lifeless marriage to James, her days dragging on in monotony. Then Jack swaggered into her life, bold, reckless, and utterly untamed. Sparks flew fast. He didn't care that she was married. She didn't care about anything but him. They became lovers, and Anne made her choice. She shed her old life like a snake sheds its skin, disguised herself in men's breeches, and boarded Jack's sloop, the Revenge. This wasn't just a fling, it was a transformation. Anne didn't sit on the sidelines. She fought, swords slashing through the air, raiding merchant ships across the Caribbean with a ferocity that stunned her crew. She drank rum with the best of them, cursed louder than the wind, and matched men twice her size in battle. But there's more to this story. On that ship, she met Mary Read, another woman hiding in plain sight, dressed as a man, with a past just as tangled. The two formed an unbreakable bond, a sisterhood forged in gunpowder and salt. Together they weren't just pirates, they were a storm no one could tame. By 1720, Anne and Jack were legends in their own right. The Revenge prowled the Atlantic, striking fear into British and Spanish merchants alike. Their raids were swift, brutal, and perfectly executed, gold and rum piling up in their hold. But infamy has a shadow. The British Crown couldn't let them roam free. Governor Woodes Rogers, a former pirate turned enforcer, put a bounty on their heads, vowing to crush their rebellion. Then came the twist that changes the story. Anne was pregnant with Jack's child. Picture it, a woman leading battles with a secret growing inside her. Some say she fought on, concealing her condition under baggy shirts, her sword arm never faltering. Others whisper she slipped away to a hidden island, gave birth in the dark, and left the child behind to reclaim her place at sea. The truth? It's lost to time, buried in the gaps of history. What we do know is this. On October 22, 1720, their run ended. A British naval ship ambushed the Revenge off Jamaica's coast. Jack and most of the crew were drunk below deck, useless in the fight. But Anne and Mary? They stood their ground, swords flashing, guns roaring, facing the enemy alone. They were outnumbered, outgunned, and in the end, overpowered. The crew was shackled, the pirate queen captured, but her story was far from finished. The trial in Jamaica was a circus. Jack and the crew faced the gallows, their fate sealed in a courtroom thick with tension. Anne and Mary, though, had a trick up their sleeves. Standing tall, they declared they were pregnant, pleading the belly. A desperate but brilliant move. The law spared them, at least for a while. Jack wasn't so fortunate. He hanged, his body left to rot as a warning. Anne's final words to him were ice cold. If you'd fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanging like a dog. No tears, no regrets, just raw, unfiltered Anne. But here's the next twist. She never faced the rope. After Jack's death, Anne Bonny vanished. Did she die in a dank prison cell, her spirit finally broken? Did her father, still wealthy and connected, bribe officials to smuggle her back to Carolina? There's a rumor she lived quietly as a tavern keeper, raising a family under an alias, her past locked away. Another theory claims she slipped back to the sea, a ghost among the waves. No grave bears her name. No record tells the end. She's a riddle history can't solve, a woman who slipped through the cracks of time. So why does Anne Bonny still haunt us? She wasn't just a pirate, she was a wildfire. In an age when women were corseted and silenced, she tore through every boundary, sword in hand, heart ablaze. Her story fueled the golden age of piracy, a chaotic era that birthed legends. You can see her shadow in pirate tales, books like Treasure Island, movies like Pirates of the Caribbean, even games like Assassin's Creed. But her real legacy isn't in the loot she stole or the ships she sank. It's in the questions she leaves us with. Was she a villain, a hero, or something in between? Did she abandon her child for freedom, or did she fight to protect it? The British Empire tried to scrub her from the books, but they couldn't. Anne Bonny proved something timeless. Power isn't handed out, it's seized. Her untold legacy isn't just a pirate's tale. It's a shout into the void, a reminder that some spirits refuse to be tamed, no matter how hard the world tries to forget them. That's the story of Anne Bonny, the pirate queen of the Atlantic, a tale of defiance, love, and mystery that history couldn't bury. What do you think happened to her? Did she escape to a quiet life? Or did the sea claim her in the end? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. If this hidden story hooked you, smash that like button and subscribe for more. Next time, we're uncovering another secret that shaped the world. What should it be? Tell me below. I'm listening. Until then, keep chasing the unknown.